Well, welcome to the Park City Market Talk webinar. I'm Ron Wilstein, broker here at Keller Williams Luxury Properties Worldwide.
And I'm Jeremy Wilstein, the buyer consultant for the Wilstein team. And we're here to present our June 2014 Park City Market Talk webinar.
All right, we're glad you're joining us. Let's hop right into it. We're going to talk about lots of activities that are happening now that it's summertime, and so we'll go through some of those with you.
And then we're going to give you an update on what's been happening in the Park City real estate market.
And we are specifically going to identify in this webinar the 5 hottest selling neighborhoods in Park City.
And finally finish up with the Battle of the Resorts, PCMR against Talisker-Vail Resorts.
That's right. So lots of good, valuable news, and let's hop right into our activities. Summertime here, so we want to remind you that the resorts are either open. Park City Mountain Resort is open for hiking and biking. Canyons will be opening this Thursday, June 12th, and Deer Valley the next day, Friday, June 13th.
And then there's a lot of ongoing events that happen in Park City every summer. We've got the Park City Farmers Market, which has started, and that's on Wednesdays, I believe. Utah Olympic Park, they've got a Flying Ace All-Star Aerial Show.
And that's running throughout the whole summer.
Yeah, that's regularly. The Park Silly Sunday Market has been really popular. That's every Sunday on Lower Main Street. And then there's a bunch of different free concerts, pretty much Wednesday through Friday, Saturday in Park City. So you can catch 3 to 4 free concerts every week in Park City. And then the Egyptian Theater always has shows going on as well.
That's right. And specifically focusing on the Egyptian, Righteous Brothers, Bill Medley is going to be there June 27th, 28th. Kevin Bacon and his brother are going to be at Deer Valley on June 28th, and Kenny Rogers in Deer Valley July 5th. Not to mention the Savor the Summit, the outdoor food and music celebration, June 21st. And just want to highlight your attention to the websites at the bottom of the screen. NowPlayingUtah.com or visit BuyParkCity.com has lots of information on these events and others.
And then also we've got the Jazz Festival coming to town. We've got the annual 4th of July parade and fireworks down Main Street. And on the 3rd of July is the Canyon celebration for Independence Day. And then also the Kimball Arts Center that happens the 1st through the 3rd of August.
All right, so wonderful time in Park City. Get out and enjoy it. And if you don't live here and you have plans to come here, look at the calendar first. Lots of fun stuff. All right, let's hop right into our real estate market update for you. Over the last 12 months, there's been 1,362 sales in Park City. This, of course, consists of homes, condominiums, and vacant land combined. And that is up 7% or 86 sales from the 12-month period the year before.
And then taking a look at the year-to-year comparison of closed sales, in the red is June 2013 through May 2014, and in the blue is June 2012 through May 2013. So comparing the last 12 months to the previous. Homes were up 1%, condominiums were up 10%, and vacant land is leading the pack up 15%.
When we break it down per category and look at a home comparison, we like to break it into the Park City City District or city limits or the Snyderville Basin. The number of sales inside the city limits is actually down by 7%, frankly because of inventory. Inventory is very limited there, so it dropped from 182 sales to 170. On the other hand, in the Snyderville Basin, number of sales is up 5% from 350 to 366.
And then taking a look at condo sales, inside the city limits were up 7% from 338 sales to 362. And we're up 14% in Snyderville Basin, so double what the Park City limits are. There's more inventory out in the Snyderville Basin, so we would expect something like that.
And then when it comes to land, we're looking at the comparison. Not much available within the city limits, so naturally down by 12 sales, 23%. Just limited supply there. And the Snyderville Basin is up by a whopping 29% from 133 sales to 172 sales. And this is an indicator of the strength of our market, that as condos and homes have become more limited and sparse, people are looking to vacant land to build the homes that they want, and of course there's more in the Snyderville Basin. That's why sales are going up.
Average time on market for closed home sales, we're selling homes about 2 weeks faster than the year before, so average days on market, 117 days for the entire marketplace.
All right, so interest in buying, you want to negotiate quickly in order to come away with the property. Let's look at prices here, what's been happening with our property values. Here we're looking at the median home sold prices, same time period that we've been looking at thus far, up 17% within the city limits, climbing from $1,115,000 for the median sold price up to $1,003,000, very impressive. In the Snyderville Basin, we rose by 11% from $649,500 to $719,500.
And then taking a look at condo median sold prices inside the city limits, we're down 4%, down from $507,250 to $484,750. And in Snyderville Basin, we're up 10%, up to $326,250 from $297,000.
And then when we come to land, naturally we talked about it being the highest demand. Prices are rising accordingly, up 16% in the city limits from a median price of $540,000 up to $627,500. Similarly, we've seen an increase in the Snyderville Basin, this time 28%, from $252,500 to $324,000. So the lot market there is definitely strengthening, and we're seeing a few more properties come on the market as values increase for those property owners.
All right, now we're going to talk about the hottest selling neighborhoods in Park City. We've done the top 5 based on sales, under contracts, and this is looking back 6 months of sales.
All right, so for the unveiling, we're starting with Old Town, Promontory, Jeremy Ranch, Pinebrook, and Summit Park. And then I decided to add Ranch Place, and reason why is it's a smaller geographical area, nowhere near as large as any of the other top 5, but a lot of sales, good action there, and I just wanted to highlight them because I think it's worth noting.
So more specifically, taking a look at Old Town, there's been 18 sales over the last 6 months with 8 under contract currently. Promontory is a real surpriser to me. 15 sales, but there's 18 properties under contract, which is kind of incredible. Jeremy Ranch, 14 sales with 3 under contract. Pinebrook, 12 sales, 6 under contract. Summit Park, 11 sales, 3 under contract. And then taking a look at Ranch Place, and the reason why we added it, it's such a small geographical subdivision located inside Silver Springs area, but there has been 8 sales with 3 currently under contract.
Yep. Now, in terms of prices, this graph here shows us what the average prices, or actually what the range is. Old Town's all over the place because lowest price sale was $415,000, went all the way up to $2,450,000. Promontory, you see the spread from a hair over $1 million to $4.9 million. Jeremy Ranch, $512,000 up to $1,600,000. Pinebrook, $523,000 up to $858,000. Summit Park goes as low as $333,000 up to $839,000, and then Ranch Place, you see the range from $621,000 to $955,000. So quite a nice variety in terms of the marketplace. Very healthy figures for us.
Say we have a dynamic marketplace.
Yes, we do,
with
indeed.
a big, broad range of property values in a small geographic area.
Mm-hmm. Now we got to talk about the battle of the resorts. Boom, boom, boom. Well, we usually give you an update every 4 or 5 months, and the activity has been pretty wild on this. We realize that some of our audience may not be familiar with this battle at all, so we may be a little redundant in case some of you are well informed about it. But let's just talk about what's been happening. On May 21st, there was a recent ruling, and I'll start here and then give you a little bit of background. 3rd District Court of Utah ruled that the Park City Mountain Resort missed a 2011 deadline for renewing its lease on more than 2,800 acres of mountainside from Talisker Corporation. Now, You need to realize that this era is effectively handing most of Park City's ski terrain over to its competitor, Vail Resorts. Vail Resorts has been running Talisker-owned Canyons Resort for the past year, and this ruling leaves Park City Mountain Resort with only the base facilities and the lower portion of the mountain, but that could be enough to make it difficult for Vail to run Park City Mountain Resort's expansion terrain from Canyons.
So we're going to go take a look back at the beginning to keep bringing you up to speed if you've missed a couple steps in this crazy thing that's happening. So the Park City Mountain Resort has been in dispute with its landlord Talisker since 2011, and when Vail took over management of the Canyons Resort in 2013, it also acquired the rights to the land under dispute and took over the legal battle. So there's really two key players in this. Park City Mountain Resort's John Cummings, who's the CEO of Powder Corp, who also owns about 5 or 6 other resorts in the United States. And Talisker Land Holdings is Rob Katz. He's the CEO of Vail Resorts.
Now, back in 2011, Park City Mountain Resort had a deadline of April 30th to renew their lease for the land at the resort. They missed this important deadline and later claimed that they had renewed their lease by the deadline, and so there was a lot of going back and forth between what they claimed they had done and Talisker saying, well, no, you really didn't do it. And so it went to the courts. Once discovered, Talisker gave Park City Mountain Resort the opportunity to renew its lease, but at a higher fair market rate. Now, what does that mean? What it means is that the previous very low rate of $155,000 a year for all that land, that all Park City Mountain Resort had to do was submit their renewal on time, went away. Vail is in a rental relationship with Talisker on Canyons Resort for $25 million. So that's what you call a major slip-up.
So Park City Mountain Resort chose not to renew the lease at this higher rate. Instead, they continued to argue in court that they didn't miss the lease renewal deadline. Now, since the lease wasn't in effect when Vail began its negotiations with Talisker, who owns the Canyons Resort, Park City Mountain Resort also lost its right of first refusal on any sale or transfer of the property, leaving Talisker with the right to do as it pleased with the land.
Now keep in mind, the Park City Mountain Resort still owns the base of the resort, which includes the facilities, the parking lots, and water rights, which are critical for snowmaking. Vail Resorts has since then sent Park City Mountain Resort 2 eviction notices on 2 separate occasions, along with an offer to purchase the remaining land owned by Powder Corp. Now this graph here kind of gives you a bit of a breakdown. Most of the resort that Vail controls is the upper part of the mountain. It's the greater part of the mountain that we're all familiar with. Powder Corp owns the base, its parking, and the water rights, which are highlighted with the darker gray there on the graph. Kind of need both to have an effective, smooth operation.
Mm-hmm. So Vail Resort offered to purchase Park City Mountain Resort's base area and the parking lots. Such a buyout could settle the lawsuit between PCMR and Talisker Land Holdings. It was not going to be that easy. The offer was made in a 5-page letter from Rob Katz, CEO of Vail, to Cummings, CEO of Powder Corp PCMR, wherein he said Vail Resorts would pay fair market value for any of the assets helpful to operate the resort.
Now, no particular price was mentioned there, but they were forthright and said, we will pay a fair market value for it. Cummings responded and said, look, they're not for sale, and he stressed that Vail would have a lot of difficulty operating the resort without access and the use of the land. Cummings, prior to the ruling on the court, threatened to remove all but 3 of Park City Mountain Resort's lifts if the lawsuit was lost, contending that they were company investments not permanently fixed to the land and thus not part of the lease.
So Katz responded that his company would have no problem replacing the lifts if it came to that, but he hoped Cummings would recognize that such an approach would only hurt the Park City community.
But no settlement was ever reached, so the judge ultimately ruled in favor of Talisker on 8.5 of the 9 motions. All that Park City Mountain Resort has left is a claim that it was not properly informed by Talisker until more than a year later that the lease had expired on May 1st, as if you wouldn't sort of kind of know what's going on in the middle of this. But that's the one they won. Attorney for Park City Mountain Resort, Alan Sullivan, said the rulings will be appealed, and Sullivan said that the resort expects to operate as usual for the winter of 2014-2015 while the appeals continue. So that's kind of bringing you up to speed as to the action in Park City as they go back and forth. Stay tuned for the next update of the Battle of the Resorts. We'll keep you informed and let you know what's happening here in Park City.
So if you've got any questions, feel free to email us and we'll promptly reply. Ron, Jeremy, Ed, or Dean at the Wilstein team.
And we want to let you know that our next Market Talk webinar will be on Tuesday, July 8th, 7 o'clock. You can always go and watch past webinars by going to thewilsteinteam.com/webinar archives. They're there for you, and we hope that you'll take advantage of them. So from Park City, we're wishing you a great day.
Have a good one.